Here's your AlabamaWX weather video for this Sunday, July 23rd. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray. Well, a little bit calmer weather for a few days after seemingly weeks of northwest flow giving us severe weather problems. Heavy rain and thunderstorms. It's going to kind of calm down just a bit. Maybe even a little bit drier than we would normally expect in summertime. Let's go to the maps. The look across North America shows big ridge there in the west, just like we've been seeing, a big trough in the east. Nothing new there, but things are going to be changing as we go into the new week ahead. Over the next couple of days, those lowered heights that we've been seeing over the eastern part of the country are going to just kind of be a figment of the past. The ridge sort of takes over. A little bit lower pressures along the Gulf Coast, but most of the United States documented by and dominated by warm, hot, high pressure as we go through the week ahead. And you see ridge builds over the Midwest, heating things up there. System tries to come out of Canada there by the beginning of next week. Kind of locks into place over the Great Lakes in the Northeast, and that may be enough to send a boundary our way. We get some lower pressures there toward the end of the period. You see the western end of the Azores-Bermuda High there over the western Atlantic, and it's going to be dominating the tropical picture. Now, the big story is drier air. We had a boundary move through here yesterday. Showers and thunderstorms developed along it Friday night after we had an afternoon round of showers and storms on Friday. But that drier air is going to be in place. You see these precipitable water values. They're well below normal for this time of year in Alabama. That's going to mean some overnight lows in the 60s for the next few mornings. And even though dry air is efficient, warms well, we'll be back in the 90s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, climbing well into the 90s through much of the midweek period. Only in the 80s today, kind of a refreshing day. But you see, we're moving through the midweek period here. This is Wednesday. That drier air is still in place, although it's beginning to erode a bit. And finally, some showers. This is actually moisture working in here by late in the weekend. And we tend to bring ourselves back to a more normal pattern. You see one of those tropical systems there. We're going to talk about it in a minute, kind of swinging off the east coast there. Now, this is the surface chart for the GFS starting on, let's go back just a little bit, and let's start here on Sunday. A few showers, thunderstorms today over southeastern portions of Alabama, the beaches of Alabama and northwest Florida. We'll see fairly numerous showers and thunderstorms today, but even down there, the weather's going to begin to improve. Monday, we're dry across the entire state of Alabama. Partly cloudy skies, lower humidities, but temperatures warming back to near 90 to the lower 90s. As we go into Tuesday, it's more of the same. Scattered showers stay to the north of us. We're dry across Alabama. It doesn't look like we'll have any showers and thunderstorms showing up on radars. Wednesday, more of the same. Maybe a couple in coastal Alabama, but the rest of the state remains dry. Will be hot. High temperatures will be climbing into the 90s. By Wednesday, calling for 94, our average high. And then on Thursday, maybe a widely scattered shower shows up. See it there late afternoon, isolated probably at best. Afternoon highs in the lower and middle 90s. But as we go through Thursday night into Friday, we see some more showers and thunderstorms developing. We'll call for widely scattered, fairly typical afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms on Friday. High temperatures in the middle 90s. And as we get into Saturday, we see a few more showers and thunderstorms showing up. But as we get into Sunday, looks like the moisture's back. Showers and thunderstorms acted on by the heating of the day will be warm with high temperatures in the middle 90s, and fairly numerous showers and thunderstorms will develop. Going out into the Voodoo Week 2 period, we see, again, sort of a drying start to the week. Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday kind of looks dry, but a boundary works its way in here as that upper trough moves into the eastern United States, and that means showers and thunderstorms again. Returning to the map. Temperatures off the national blend of models. Looks like 80s today. Boy, that's refreshing for July. Just a little bit below normal. Look at those 60s the next couple of mornings. We'll take that. 92 for your Monday, 94, 96 on Wednesday. Middle 90s all the way through the weekend, and middle to upper 90s the following week. Now, rainfall is going to be a little bit more scarce than we've been seeing. I've gotten 4.5 inches this month. Rainfall amounts over the area have been sort of feast or, well, not really feast or famine. Everybody's gotten pretty decent amounts, and that's kind of helped dent that recent dryness that we've had. This is the GFS ensemble predicting somewhere around, 1.3, 1.4 inches of rain over the next 2 weeks. That's not ideal, but we'll take anything we can get. In the tropics, Tropical Storm Don will gradually lose tropical characteristics today. Subtropical Storm Don, as it moves to the northeast and it interacts with the westerlies and moves on out. We got this tropical wave here, which is kind of carrying its own moisture envelope with it. It's approaching the Lesser Antilles, and as we go through time, it appears that this will move into the Caribbean. It could become a tropical storm over the next couple of days. If it does, it'll be called Emily. But when it gets into the Caribbean, it's going to run into a hostile environment, lots of wind shear there. And it looks like it could just end up going into Central America, perhaps again weakening to a tropical wave. No indications that it'll be any kind of strong storm or anything that we have to worry about. There's a second wave that's just off the African coast. By next Sunday night, Monday, it's moving into the Lesser Antilles, the leewards there, and that could be interesting. We'll have to watch that. It looks like it recurves through the Bahamas and a trough that picks it up off the east coast and moves it out. There's another wave back over Africa that we'll deal with too. Now, the GFS ensembles do predict that we will see at least a tropical depression here over the Monday, Tuesday time frame, moving into the islands. Its probability of it being a storm is much less. So really, we could see a tropical depression. We may not get to Emily. This is, of course, Subtropical Storm Don moving out. Of course, it won't be because we don't have warm waters. These are sea surface temperature anomalies over the Atlantic basin. Really, the only place where they're below normal is right under Don, where it's described that big loop over the past 10 days or so, and we've seen some upwelling there. But all through the main tropical development region of the Atlantic, we've got very warm temperatures, of course, very warm temperatures and high oceanic heat content in the western Caribbean near Cuba, the southeastern Gulf. It's just not a good scene. If we get a tropical cyclone moving through these areas, of course, the potential is going to be there for a very strong, rapidly intensifying system developing. Don't forget to watch Weather Brains. This last week had a great show on rip currents. If you're heading to the Alabama beaches, Northwest Florida beaches, I want you to be careful. Fabulous show, though, last Monday night with some experts on rip currents and how you can protect your family when you go to the Gulf Coast or any of the beaches around the coastline of the United States. Going to have a fun show. Tomorrow night, we'll be talking to an expert, Kevin Perry, from the University of Utah about America's Great Salt Lake and some of the challenges that it's facing and some of the solutions there to keep that important lake healthy going into the future. Well, that's your weather video for this 23rd of July. I'll have notes on the blog, a complete update on the forecast coming up at noon. James will be here with 2 days tomorrow. Scott will see you next Saturday. I'll check in with you next Sunday, and until I get that chance, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky because you'll always have something fun to look at.